go?
Yeah.
Check, testing. Okay. Well, that's it. Thanks.
That was the whole thing?
That was the whole video, guys.
Very anticlimactic.
All right.
We created so much hype and applause.
Okay, so Linus, you were on our channel, Gamers Nexus channel, at Computex, right? I think that's the first time you were ever in one of our videos.
Yeah, that was actually really fun.
Yeah, so we talked about products that needed improvement and annoying things, and right when I said annoying things at Computex, you came into the frame yelling at me. So the thing we got in the comments that I wanted to talk with you about is we had a few comments that were to the effect of, please don't become LinusTechTips. Don't be like them because Linus is in your video. Don't get into bed with LinusTechTips is what they said. So I wanted to talk about how can two channels like ours, which do different types of content, right, but yet we coexist peacefully and in a friendly fashion. So because we do different types of content doesn't mean that actually we have to be enemies. Before that, this video is brought to you by EVGA's 19th anniversary giveaway. EVGA is giving away over $80,000 of components in its retro-themed 19-year anniversary, including 2 signed GN mod mats, and also several full systems, GPUs, motherboards, and more. To participate, click the link in the description below to start EVGA's scavenger hunt, screenshot competition, or gaming events. Click the link below to learn more.
So the thing about YouTube comments is I think a lot of viewers assume that because they're just talking on the internet that no one's actually reading it and that no one's feelings are being hurt and no one's businesses are being affected. But the reality of it is I actually emailed Steve after I saw some of the comments on that video going like, hey, hopefully the crossover is like fine and everything's cool, because people don't really seem to understand what the dynamic is between YouTube channels. And I'm sure if we brought Lewis over here, or Barnacles, or Jay, we would get the exact same statement from any of them, and that's not because we all colluded to say the exact same thing. It's just because that's the way it is. We don't see each other as competitors. The reason that I am not just that it's not just okay, but the reason that I'm thrilled to have someone like Steve and Gamers Nexus and Jay's 2 Cents and Barnacles and Lewis here at an event like this is because, to me, they give LTX credibility. It's not about oh, they're a competitor. Someone might watch Steve's review of the, maybe there would be a new graphics card coming at some point in the near future, and maybe they watch his review of that instead of mine. It's never like that. We all complement each other really well. In fact, we've got a great mix. Lewis doesn't cross over with any of us at all, even ranty repairs of Apple products. Barnacles has not done as much tech lately, it's more lifestyle. Jay's 2 Cents is hardcore into the amazing mods, water cooling. The guy water cools like I don't even know how to do. Steve gets into the nitty-gritty details like nobody else does, especially in the YouTube space.
Except Der Bauer. To be fair, Der Bauer gets into it.
Except Roman. Roman is crazy. Love Roman. Heart Roman. And that's okay. And what we do is totally different. And so Steve and I can have professional respect for each other, even though I would see your video and I would go, I'm not going to make that video. And you might see my video and go, wow, look at this amazing vacuum I've got.
We might have done something like that. By the way, and I don't think anyone knows this yet, but the agency that handled that ad emailed me and said that they learned a lot from that campaign.
That's good.
And 2, they liked our video. So
I did too.
So it is possible to actually respectfully, in that instance, criticize a company and still get along with them, right? And everyone actually learns and grows as a community.
And nothing's personal. That's the other thing too, is that Steve's video was very obvious. It wasn't exactly a veiled critique of what we were doing. It was pretty in your face, and that's fine because that's Steve's voice and I totally respect that. And in much the same way, you have to come up with something you respect about me quick.
Well, so the thing I was telling Linus earlier is Linus's channel, LinusTechTips at this point, I guess it's the team's channel really, but
It really is.
Linus's group puts out stuff that we see as kind of like the anchor store in like a shopping center or something. Like, we hope that you guys are bringing in newcomers to the tech space, and that those people will eventually come over and find us or other people in the space as well. So there's a lot of value in bringing new people into the industry to keep the industry growing, because it benefits all of us, which is something that you guys do exceptionally well, I think.
Were you pretty blown away by how many people at a LinusTechTips Expo were intimately familiar with you and your work?
It was pretty surprising, to be honest. Like, I don't know, I wasn't expecting anyone here to really know who I was.
Anyone who knows who Steve is, let's hear some noise. Come on, let's hear some noise.
Thank you, appreciate it. So Linus, I guess another topic here.
Yeah.
Something that I think is kind of interesting that people don't talk about a lot is vendor or manufacturer and media relations.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of misconceptions about that. Like, how do we work with all the companies without being shills, as what the comments would say, right? Because they give us free stuff, right?
They give us an obligation.
And in reality, I don't know, the parts that we get aren't really that free. I mean, we're working for 20 hours or something to review the parts. So it's like, it's an investment. It's not like we're going home and building computers with these things.
People ask me that all the time. They're like, oh, how cool is it to get free video cards all the time? And I'm kind of sitting here going, do you have any idea how much I pay my staff? Do you have any idea how much my rent costs? Do you have any idea how much all of this costs? I would just go buy it if I really needed it. Like, I went out and bought a Nintendo Switch 10 days ago because that's cheaper than working for it.
Right.
Much cheaper.
Way cheaper, yeah. But on the relations side, though, how do you guys balance working with partners and companies versus editorial independence?
So I think what a lot of people miss in this industry is that we're not nameless and faceless corporations. Not even the nameless, faceless corporations like Intel. The industry is full of real people like you and me who have to have real interactions to each other's faces and talk to each other and get along, because it's all for the betterment of the technology industry as a whole. It's all about bringing people into the fold, people getting excited about technology, people pursuing careers in technology. I mean, we wouldn't do this if we didn't care about that. So there's an element of working with brands like an Intel or NVIDIA or Razer or whoever the case may be, in order to make sure that we are all on the same page. Because sometimes we might criticize something without fully understanding the behind-the-scenes conversations or thinking that went on. And once we hear them, we go, oh, that makes a lot of sense. So there was a phone manufacturer that I was talking to a little while ago that made a controversial decision regarding their display technology. I said, well, why'd you guys do that? And they said, well, the reality of it is, if you want a high-end display right now that has good availability, you're buying one with a notch. So it came down to parts availability. I went, oh, what a perfectly reasonable explanation for that. You're not the ones to blame for this particular industry trend, but unfortunately you're swept up along with it, and at least you've got some workarounds for it that should work for the vast majority of users. Wow, what a valuable thing for me to know as someone who's trying to cover technology. With that said, sometimes we have disagreements. We are not on particularly good terms with one of the actual sponsors / attendees of last year's LTX. That's why they're not here. They're super mad. And it was over a title and thumbnail of another video. And it comes down to individual people that either have good explanations or bad explanations, or you have good relationships or bad relationships, and then balancing that against the fact. It's pure fact that the single most important asset that any media publication has is the reader or the viewer. Because without that, if we lose our credibility with you guys, we have nothing. So it's always a balancing act. And sometimes those conversations are awkward. Like, can you think of the conversation you've had when you've had to slam a product? Let's go with
several.
Let's go with the HP 500.
Yeah,
H500P. Take me under the hood of that one.
Okay, so H500P, the Cooler Master case, I don't know, did anyone see any of those reviews? Okay, so there are instances where doing a critical review, it depends on the company, right? You talked about this with Intel actually at Computex last year after you did the walk in the rain.
Yeah.
So there are companies that will really get what you're saying, and it's okay, move past it and keep working with us, no problem. and then there are companies that you kind of stop getting their products. And so Cooler Master, we had an issue where the review wasn't that liked when we were critical of the product.
I think the viewers liked it just fine.
Viewers loved it, and it was great for our channel, and that's what you're saying, where you appeal to the audience, and you do hopefully what you think is right, and then hopefully the rest of the success should follow.
But on that note, the designs that Cooler Master showed off afterwards.
Yeah, so they've improved significantly. I'm not going to take credit for all of that, because here's the thing, one of the things I want to say, a couple people asked about the H500P today, actually, and the thing with that is, I don't think we really said anything that the engineers didn't already know. Like, I am positive that engineers who worked on those cases knew every single thing we were talking about, and it's just a matter of what do the executives think, or what does marketing think? Right, what's popular. So I can't imagine how frustrating that would be to be an engineer where you're like, I told you guys, like I told you this was going to be a problem.
See, I've worked back alley deals with the more technical people, or the engineering people, or the technical marketing people, where I kind of go, look, I have to say all these bad things. Defend yourself, please. And they go, you know what? I'm not even gonna, because I want my engineering team and I want my executive team to hear this. And because the reality of it is, there's some people who are just working a Mick job, and that's fine, good for them. But the tech industry in particular is made up of passionate people who really want to build something better. And so there's a lot of them out there, and if you find the right ones, you can actually make a difference, like with the H500P.
Yeah, and to be fully clear here, Cooler Master's working with us again on this stuff. So they sent the H500 and the H500M, which were both actually really good cases. I
mean, the reality of it is too that, at our scale, if we have to go and buy a case, ultimately we don't care.
Whatever, yeah.
Like I got an engineering sample of it, but I'm not getting a finished new razor blade. I'm just not getting one. I have one.
Yeah.
There will be a review, because you guys got to hear what we think about it, and that's the bottom line.
And I think that's really important for media outlets like what we do or anyone else in the tech space, is if a company doesn't sample you, either because they're afraid of negative press, or they don't think you fit their narrative, or whatever else the other reasons might be.
Or they just overlooked you. Sometimes it's just an innocent, hey, we just weren't looking that closely.
Right, yeah, exactly. And it's very important for the outlet to take responsibility and go buy the thing so that you can still report on it.
Just bought a MacBook Pro.
A MacBook Pro?
Yeah, that's going to be my new daily driver.
Really?
No.
That video, by the way, was excellent.
The iMac Pro one?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We actually kind of screwed it up because the first one went viral. And there were comment threads with 1,000 comments on them, on like Apple blogs, on Reddit, all that kind of stuff. Like, it was very controversial. And so when we did the follow-up, we were like, wow, this is a lot of controversy. We need to make sure that we address some of the misunderstandings and some of the things that are just plain dumb that people are saying. And so we laid out this really structured argument, pure fact. We inserted almost no opinion whatsoever, and the controversy disappeared. The second video didn't even perform very well. Like, it wasn't like edgy enough or something. And I'm kind of sitting here going, well, it was a better video.
That's just outrage culture, though, right? That's just people. You didn't have anything for people to be mad at in the second one, so no one cared anymore. So that's kind of the problem. Yeah, like with I saw some of the article clippings you guys had in that most recent video, where people are like, well, of course Apple didn't help them because they opened it.
How dare we?
Right.
Guys, should we be allowed to open our electronics and fix them? Thank you. It was a pop quiz I was really hoping you'd pass.
Is this an ad for iFixit?
No.
Just making sure. Yes, I don't know. I thought that's a really important point, is that you don't let the companies, which, as you say, they are run by people. Like, there are people we interface with. There are people who probably know all of the things that everyone's mad about very well. It's just a matter of making sure the right people understand that and act on it.
So bottom line, we're not competitors. We love working together. We've shared meals. We've hung out at events like this. We respect each other a lot, even though I might see, Steve's video and go, wow, that's a very dull delivery you've got there, Steve.
That's exactly what we do.
And he might see my video and go,
yikes.
okay, this was supposed to be friendly. And we see ourselves as all just part of the tech, entertainment, and education ecosystem. And some of us are more entertainment, and some of us are more education, and that's fine.
Agreed. One final point here is, any of you on social media, like if you're on Twitter or whatever, a lot of the manufacturers actually have someone managing their Twitter accounts, and they will see your comments. So if enough people complain about something, there's a good chance it might actually get fixed. But just keep in mind, I think people forget this a lot, products take years to develop. Even just a computer case, like the NZXT Manta, for example, simple case took, I think, 2.5 years. So if you're complaining now, there's a good chance they see it. You just might not see the effects of your complaint.
2020, maybe?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. 2021?
Yeah.
Some things are faster, but not all.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
All right, so that's all I got for a video.
Do you want to outro it?
Sure.
Can I outro it?
You can outro it.
Okay, I'm going to outro it.
Camera's right there if you'd like to
So
address
thanks
it.
for watching. If you guys dislike Linus Tech Tips, then you can hit that button. But if you like Gamers Nexus, you can hit that button. Oh, what are they gonna do? Leave a comment, of course, and don't forget to subscribe to Linus Tech Tips on YouTube, and of course Gamers Nexus on YouTube, which you're probably already subscribed to because it's on Steve's channel. And this video is brought to you by. No, I'm just kidding.
Gotta throw it in there. Brought to you by LTX.
Yeah, LTX 2018.
Keep an eye out for LTX 2019. Thank you.
That was fun. Yeah.